Hey guys, welcome to another video. This video is about the Hulk. So we all knew that I was ordering parts, got parts stockpiled. Well, for my birthday this year, I ordered everything else that I wanted to do to it, and it's in the mail. So today we're gonna rip the supercharger off this and get ready for the parts to come. And it's pretty cold out right now. It's like 40 degrees. So I just cranked the heater up. So right now we're gonna throw the plate on it that I got for it. Probably can't read it. Equipped to rip. I stole it from the Coffee Walk channel. He bought a car and said that, and I loved it ever since. This car is definitely gonna be equipped to rip. So right now let's pop the hood, start ripping this blower off, and see what parts arrive in the mail tomorrow. Here it is, guys, before we pull it apart. So it's been sitting a while. I started every once in a while with the batteries. My buddy TJ has a blue one of these. The batteries in these things are garbage or something. I don't know, they like to die. So I'm gonna rip the battery out right away just before we get started. I'm gonna bring it to the shop and charge that tomorrow. And in the meantime, rip the battery out, and I'm gonna start ripping everything apart that we need. We gotta get the supercharger off, so I gotta drain the coolant out of it and stuff, which is the worst part of this whole thing in my opinion. I hate dealing with fluids. So I'm just gonna start by taking the battery out, the strut bar, intake, all the easy stuff today. So then we'll see how far we get. Well guys, I dug into her, and let me tell you, I couldn't find any videos on YouTube about this. I didn't look too hard, but I looked kind of hard. You gotta remove the cowl to get that strut tower brace off, which is stupid. Hate that. You gotta take the wipers off, cowl, loosen your battery tray a little bit to lift it up to get the cowl panel out. And then your hood strut is on there also. So now I had to take my broom apart, which it's kind of sketchy. The hood's really heavy. But yeah, we're here. I don't know, kind of stupid. So now we're finally to the supercharger, and I'm gonna drain the coolant now, which, like I told you, is the worst part. So that's where I'm at right now. And once we get the coolant drained, I think it'll be easy from there. So let's get this coolant drained out and then keep going from there. Still plucking away at this. Now I am down to having to get rid of the coolant for the blower, I believe. I'm trying not to do it for the engine. The hoses right there on both sides, I'm just gonna try to push them out of the way. I think I can squeeze it by, I'm not sure yet. Got the belt off now, which you have to take the smaller belt off first. That runs the alternator and the water pump. I gotta do the bypass valves, the vacuum lines, fuel. I'm gonna take the rails off now, spill gas everywhere. And then after the rails, then I'm gonna do the coolant for the blower. So I'm trying to save that to last, even though I'll probably just gonna let it fall out of there until it's out. And rinse it with the hose just because I'm lazy. But other than that, it's all pretty self-explanatory to get it off. You just keep taking stuff off till the blower comes, but it's all pretty easy. It's just really tedious because you don't want to scratch anything. These cars are expensive and we want them as nice as possible. So just keep plucking away slowly. That wasn't so bad. I just pulled the hoses off, put a pop bottle underneath there and caught most of it. It didn't leak out a lot. Then I took the air and just barely blew any I didn't pressurize it. I just blew a little bit until it kept coming out. So it's pretty, there's probably still some in there, but enough to pull it off. So now I'm gonna work on the rails. So I'm gonna unhook all the fuel injectors, pull the rails off. And then once the rails are off, the blower should be good to come. All right guys, I gotta show you this. So I got the rails loose. I'm just gonna take the rails off before the blower. I'm working on the back here. I cut this tape that they had here. There's a bolt here on the top to get this off, but you can't get that off till you get to the way bottom. There's another bolt way down there. Stupidest thing I've ever did. I got the bottom one off. Now I just gotta slide it off somehow. Dumbest thing ever. Like, I don't fucking know. It was easy till this. I'm gonna work at this for probably another half an hour and freaking I'm about to go inside. And there she is, boys, what I've been waiting for. Man, it looks like it came apart. Hope it's in there. Ripped her open about as fast as I could. Look at how beautiful it looks. Huge. One thing they didn't do is they didn't like saran wrap the blower, so that foam crap got everywhere. So I just had to vacuum it and blow it out. But so far it looks good. I'm gonna get mine off now and compare them. And hopefully I can get this off by myself. It looks pretty heavy. And just lifting that by myself, this is probably gonna be a little heavier. And I don't really want to scratch my car. So I'm gonna tackle this off and try to get it off by myself. And then I'll show you guys side by side what they look like. It's not gonna be fun. And might get a laugh out of it maybe, I don't know. Frickin' thing is heavy, like super heavy. I might just crawl my happy butt in there.
I'm gonna do it that way. I think I'm gonna do that. Oh man. The joys of working on cars by yourself. Oh man.
All right guys, round two. I got the lid off. So now let's try this over. What a shit show. Oh man. There we go. Now it's fucking on it. Another one of them fucking things. Excuse my language, but frickin' A. Ford and their stupid ass clips. So stupid, dude. So dumb. Just unnecessary. They like don't want you to take these apart. So when I tackled this, I figured it'd be as easy as an 03 Cobra. Hell no, not even close. You know, frickin' Terminator blower off in like 30 minutes. What the fuck? Hey, what do you know? So crabby now, I probably just lifted with one finger. Oh man. Nope, still heavy. Try one leg. Here we go. Set down. Man. What a shit show. there it is. Holy cow. That was not fun. A couple O-rings. I'll bring you over and show you what I was talking about. Those are the 3 clips that want you to freaking kick the side of your car. But got it off. No damage to the car, so that's a plus. It was heavy, but it wasn't too heavy. Once you get those wires off, it's not that bad. So there's the difference. Side by side. You can see in there, it's nothing special. This one, it's got a lot going on. So look at that. Crazy. And then we got the upgraded intercooler, so that's a plus. So let's keep plucking away.
What are you doing, Daddy?
Nothing, don't tell your mom.
Okay.
All right, guys, I'm back home. I had to go to the gym. It's dark out now, but I couldn't wait. I got the blower back on, and let me tell you, once those wires are off the back, super simple. It went right in. So if you do this at home, make sure you get those 3 things off the back of the blower. Once you get that off, you have to take the hat off if you don't want to drain your coolant and remove that hose. I kept mine in there. So if you keep the hose on, you're going to have to take the hat off to kind of wiggle it out. If you take that off, I think it'll come by. But I try to not drain the coolant out of the car just because I don't want to deal with air pockets and stuff. I know it's not a big deal. It's just one more thing to worry about. So I'm going to set the hat on there, but I'm not going to bolt it down because I'm going to order one tonight. I'm going to get the VMP hat just because I want the powder coated black one, and I think it'll look good in here. So I have a black throttle body from Palm Beach Dyno. The pulley's going to be black. Whipple tensioner is about to go on. That's black. I should pull the valve covers off and powder coat them, but maybe later down the road. So I'm going to order that tonight, and then we're going to get it all together. It's looking good already. I'm pretty anxious to feel 900 plus, maybe even 1,000 wheel. Once we get the headers on, I'll do 1,000. But it's going to be a little fun little car, and I'm going to keep plucking away and keep updating you guys. Well, guys, I ordered the VMP lid, and I don't want the shark, so I'm going to paint this black so it matches. And I got a beam arrow, I think that's how you call their company, overlay in the green. So it's going to be black to match. So I scuffed it up. And when I scuffed it, I guess that's just paint, and then it's etched. But it's just paint, so I'm going to seal it and paint it black. Hopefully it matches, because I haven't got the lid yet, so I'm kind of guessing on like the glossiness, I guess. So let's get this thing sprayed. Got the blower all on, sent the tune out, so the tune's in the mail. Well, I got it, I just got to download it back in. Blower's bolted down. She even bleeds green. Leaked a little coolant. But got the parts over here. I'm gonna start swapping everything over. I'm not gonna film anything, I'm just gonna enjoy it. It's kind of nice out, finally, for once it's 60 degrees. So I'm gonna enjoy it, take it slow, just kind of do everything, and then I'll just show you guys when it's all installed. So stay tuned. Just out here making some new lines since those ones are garbage. The ones that Division X sends, one of them was leaking out the top here. So I'm just making mine out of Vibrant, and I'm making mine like what I feel like is a little bit better length. It's nice out, kiddo's playing. Listening to some great music, but I had to pause it for copyright purposes. So we're gonna keep plucking away at this project. Got them all made up. I kind of followed the same route they did, just because if you don't, lines kind of kink and stuff. I do like the look of this Vibrant hose better than the stuff that they come with. I don't like that hard stuff. So, and the stuff I did is the 85 whatever approved, so don't worry about that. Yeah, looks pretty good. Once the thing is on there, the strut tower brace, you won't see them anyway. So the lid did come today, the VMP lid, but I don't like the color of it, so I think I'm going to paint it so it's a little bit more black and match the anodized, because it's kind of like a silver. I don't know, it looks weird. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll get that installed and then we'll put everything back together. Well guys, I wasn't happy with the lid. You can see the sharks, I taped it off. See, it's like a metallic gray. I figured it'd be like a satin black, flat black, so I painted what I bought there in the back, so I'm gonna put that on there, and then I got another overlay, so that'll look black and green in there, so it'll look pretty good. And then I don't know what I'm gonna do with the plate yet. But yeah, I didn't really like that ugly grayish look. It looked kind of cheap in my opinion, I don't know. So I painted it. It's gonna get a little flatter as it dries, so we'll see how it turns out when it's all done. All right, the time has finally come. It's Friday. I'm gonna drop the kid off at school, then we're gonna throw the Hulk on the hoist, and I'm gonna do the headers today. So hopefully I get it done in a day. A lot of people say it is a nightmare, so that's why I'm starting on Friday. Gives me all weekend to tidy it up, or if anything goes wrong, bolt breaks, anything stupid. So I'm gonna head there now, get on the hoist, which my hoist doesn't like these low cars, so I gotta put blocks down, drive up on them and stuff. Get it up there, let the headers cool a little bit while I take apart the cowl and the strut brace, air cleaner, stuff like that. So let's get there, open the kooks headers, make sure everything's there before we even start. Gaskets, I don't know if it comes with bolts or you reuse factory. Just check everything over, and then we're gonna tear into this thing. So been excited to get these on, but I haven't been excited to do the work. So let's see how big of a pain in the butt they are. Got it here. Back I put on 2x6s, and the front are on 2x4s to kind of get the hoist under there. I still don't know if it's gonna fit. It looks tight, so that'll be fun. But I opened the headers up over here, which are labeled correctly. But one of these pipes is kind of says it's for a Corvette, so I hope that it's just labeled wrong, or they use the same one. I don't know. I think I'm gonna call them quick before I start installing them to make sure, but yeah, let's hope that's right. So let's dig into this beast and get them on. Got her in the air, guys. As you can see, the tires are pretty bald, 4,000 miles on her. But we're gonna start tearing into this thing and hope it's not as bad as everyone says it is. Pray for me. All right, since nobody I could find actually shows you how to install these, they just say they're installed. So far, this side's not too bad. This side, you use one of these ratchet wrenches that has a flex head. I don't know where I set it. Maybe in here. Here's a flex head wrench, so you can turn it back. And you can get to them that way pretty easy. The passenger side, not the case. This one you can get to, but this top one, I think you got to get through the top with very long extensions. Those are easy. So mid pipe, driver's side, fairly easy. Couple action sensors. Like I said, these aren't too bad. I got the steering shaft out. I zip tied it here so it can't turn on me, so I know exactly the rotation of the wheel. We got to get the motor mount off now once we get the bolts out to get that out. And once we get the motor mount out, it should be pretty easy, I think, to get the rest. So I'm gonna lower it. You can see the nut up there. I'm gonna take that nut off. Then I'll come back down here, put something on the oil pan to distribute the weight. And then we're gonna buzz those 3 bolts out, and then I should be able to get to this pretty easy. I'm only an hour in it so far. I did take the whole cowl and stuff off. Some people sneak it by to get the thing off. I just took it all off since I'm used to it already. So yeah, I'm an hour into it, and it's not too bad so far, knock on wood, but I think this side is the side that's gonna suck, to be honest, because like, look at that motor mount. So just a little update, still trucking along. We got one side off so far. I didn't have to remove the motor mount. I did take that nut off though. The motor mount's still intact. I'm almost sure I'm gonna have to do that to get the new headers on though. But here's a little bit side-by-side comparison. I'm shocked that Ford dents like that for the steering. Kind of stupid in my opinion, but a little comparison for you. way bigger. So those are 2" into 3. Those probably look like 1 3/4, maybe 1 1/2. I'm gonna try to fish that up there and hopefully not have to remove the motor mount. Little update, got one side done. It's been 4 hours, I'm guessing. Man, it is not fun. Fits great though, it looks awesome. If you look way up there, I don't know if you can see them. Let's just try to figure it out here. I put the locks on and everything, which is not fun. A lot of you probably won't do that. But for you guys that are at-home mechanics, if you do this in your garage on jack stands, there's no way. It'll take you 4 days. It is not fun. You got to get through a lot of different areas. You got to get the motor mount off through there and back here. Just trust me, don't try this at home. You need a hoist. And I took the motor mount completely out. You had to slide the header in, and you can't use the studs. I was going to use the factory studs instead of these bolts it comes with. I'll show you here. Factory is these studs, and then it comes with these locking bolts, which are nice. I usually use those. But I tried to use these first. The header won't slide in. You got to take the studs out, and at that point I was like, screw it, let's use those. So you might be able to use the studs, but I highly doubt it, because you got to get the studs in there, and trust me, there's no room. I kind of tightened them all like as I went, a little bit, until they're all uniform all the way across, and then I tightened them through the top. And then I got the header all tightened, and then I forgot to put the motor mount in. So you can slide it in here once you jack the car up if you don't have your steering shaft on yet. So that wasn't a problem, thank God. So if that answers your question, you can get the motor mount back and you just jack this up. So yeah, not too bad. It's just very time consuming and tedious. It's not hard. This side I think is going to be a lot harder, but I don't know. I'm going to try to get this stupid nut off up here before I go home. A ratchet can't click in here. Even a snap-on 100 tooth won't click, so it just hits here to loosen it. So I think I got to put an extension up through the top, and then I can get the cat off, and then I can start on the manifold. And I know you got to take the AC compressor loose, I believe. I heard on a different guy's video, but we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to start on this side, and I think I'm going to go home early and do the rest tomorrow so I don't get burnt out. Here's a view from the top. Look great. There's all my little clips on there. Pain in the butt. Started on this side. That one bolt I said was impossible to get to. You got to take your battery tray out, and then this metal piece, which is 10 millimeters. And look at this. Right there, baby. Straight shot now. Stupid. Why couldn't they put them the opposite way? But yeah, straight shot. I'm going to get that off, get the cat and mid plate off, and then keep plucking away. Oh, got everything off now. Holy cow. If you want to start with the bad side, do the passenger side first. Holy cow. Everything on me is broken and busted and bleeding. This a nightmare. You gotta take the starter out, obviously. Motor mount, which I don't even think I can get back in. I'm gonna have to sneak it in before the header's on. This side's just a nightmare, dude. It's so bad. So I'm gonna keep plucking away, try to get this thing at least mocked up tonight, and then tomorrow I'll come in and finish. Well guys, I got it pretty much in. I gotta make sure all the bolts are tight. And let me tell you, if you don't like wrenching on cars or you're not a huge mechanic, don't even attempt this. I'm fairly good at mechanics and this sucks. I have almost every tool you can think of and it sucks. The driver's side wasn't too bad. The passenger is just stupid. You got to get the motor mount in, the starter in before the header's tight, and then you can't even tighten the header. There's no room for anything. It's incredibly stupid. So I'm calling it a day before I'm too frustrated. My hands are all beat up, and I'm going to come back tomorrow and finish it up. Well, guys, just finished it up. I didn't really do a step-by-step with you guys since I was kind of frustrated and just started taking stuff apart. If you do this by yourself, don't try to be like me and leave the K-member in. Just pull it out, and it'll be way simpler. Overall fit and fitment is awesome. They aren't close to anything. This rail is really close, but Doesn't rub, doesn't look like it's gonna rub. This side's awesome as well. So Kooks 2-inch primaries and 3-inch collector. That's what they are. I didn't get cats because if you drive like me, you blow them out anyway. So overall, it's great. The reason I didn't pull my K members, I have carbon wheels and I don't really trust people to align this stuff. I'm really picky with my stuff and don't want anything to happen. So that's why. And yeah, it looks great. Time to start it. Finally all put back together. First start. I was gonna put it on Snapchat, but I saved it for you guys. So we're gonna see how loud this beast is. I've been anxious for this. Here we go. Wow, remote start won't work. I guess we gotta do it the old-fashioned way. I just put a new battery in it, so I don't know if that's why. Who knows? Here we go, I guess. Oh, the hood's open, dummy. Doesn't sound that crazy. Got a leak, I can hear. It's not that loud. I was thinking it'd be louder. Huh. Smoky headers. Now that the headers are done, let's get real. The day I went to drive this here to get the headers on, I made it like 4 miles from my house. It started, just hell broke loose. Transmission didn't want to shift. It went into 7th gear, wouldn't downshift by itself until you're at the stop sign. It like stopped, then it'd clunk into 1st gear or whatever. And then the motor went into limp mode, threw a code for ambient air temp and something like that. Basically the map sensors, I think. I don't know. So I Googled it. The motor went into limp mode because of transmission, I think. The wrench light and stuff was on. So I'm hoping it was either the battery, because the battery's kind of shot, or transmission fluid might be low, which I have something. We're about to check it right now. So I'm gonna start the transmission fluid. I already have a new battery in it, but I just haven't driven it yet because it's a pain to get on the hoist. So I'm gonna fill the transmission first if it needs it. And then we got Cortex lower links for the rear. So we're gonna put them on too, since it's a quick job. And then we're gonna pray that the transmission is fine. I know you guys are like, well, you just put all these parts on it. That's why. No, I've driven it like 300 miles with the parts on it and the tune in it. So I think this is just a fluke deal, but it did turn over slow before I left the house. So the battery was pretty low and I've been needing to jump it. So the battery was pretty shot. I tested it at the parts store and I got the new one. They said it tested good, just needed a recharge. Well, I just charged it with my car and I don't know. I feel like the battery was just on its last leg and that's what it needed, I hope. Well, let's check the fluid, fill it up, and then let's go try driving it after we get the lower links in also. All right, guys, we're under here. That gold plug right there is the fill, and then that is the drain. One of the drains, there's 2 drains, I believe. There's another one. But we're just gonna fill, so I'm gonna take that top one out. You fill it until it starts leaking out, and then you put it back in. And then we start it again, get it warm, and then do it again. So here's the stuff you need. I only got 1 kooks. I don't think that I should need more, I hope. Some people have, but I don't think I will. I got this contraption. I tape the things because sometimes they blow off and I'm by myself. Step down the hose so the hose can fit in there pretty easy. So I'm gonna start to do this. I'll set you guys up so you can watch. All right, guys, I got the Allen wrench up there. You won't be able to use a socket one. You gotta use a regular Allen head. It's a 6. It's a tiny bit loose, but I think that my tool is just kind of getting old. And you get it up in there. I'm gonna use like a little cheater because I don't want to slip. Maybe. Oh. Sorry, it's pretty early in the morning. I'm not really awake yet. Oh, there it goes. They don't give you much room. Well, we just got it out. I'll show you what it looks like. That's what it looks like. The O-ring kind of slid up. That's why it's hard to get out the whole way, but do that when you put it back in. Nothing did leak out, so let's pray that it's a little bit low, and that's kind of why it freaked out. I don't know why it would freak out after you put 4,000 miles on a car and it went right away, but who knows? Let's not ask questions. Shove that up in there. Open this. Should have this open for you guys, but whatever. Now, put that in there. And pray that none of these lines blow off. Gonna go super slow. Starting to get hard. Since this hose is so small, it's gonna be super hard to get through it, but I don't want to go fast because it'll blow my tape off. Pretty tedious job. There's other ways to do this, but this is just the one I chose. My lines are leaking a little bit. There we go, we got some coming out. So now we'll pull this out. Put it in our drain bucket. It took quite a bit, half a quart. So put the plug in, get her warmed up, and then we'll add whatever else we need. All right guys, I let it run for exactly 6 minutes. Now we're gonna pull the plug out again and then refill it again. Just finished up. It did take a tiny bit more, not much, but besides what I dropped on the ground, which isn't a lot, it took the whole quart. It's all empty. So that could have been the reason. Let's hope. So let's get the lower links on. They're over here somewhere. I'll show these to you in a sec. I gotta wash my hands. We're gonna throw them on and then we're getting this thing off the hoist. Just open them up for you guys. You can see you get a couple stickers, maybe, yeah, installation instructions. These things, you gotta torque them correctly. And here they are. They help with wheel hop and deflection. This one came all scratched up. I know some of you guys wouldn't care, but I do. So I kind of emailed them and I asked them if they could send another one, and I'd send this one back. I don't know if it's from them installing these or somebody returned it, but I just don't like that. This one looks awesome. It's really weird that that one's all beat up though, because it was wrapped up in these things really nicely, so I don't know, but if they send a new one, cool. If they don't, I guess I'll eat it, but for how expensive these are, they should not come like that. But anyways, I'll show you where they go. I'm just gonna install them off camera and show you guys. I'll probably show you torquing them, but they go like that. You can see the old one in there, and the new one. So the rubber bushings and stuff wheel hop, and then those long bolts, they like help clear 18-inch wheels or something, I don't know. So we're gonna get these things on and I'll show you what they look like. Got it installed. So when you do these, you gotta torque these, and they're very specific. They say go slow. This one's 80 foot-pounds, this one's 125. And then you're supposed to put some blue Loctite on the threads. So I put it together, almost torqued it, and I forgot the Loctite, so I had to take it back apart. But I'll show you the old one and the new one side by side so you can kind of see. I think how you fit the 18s is see the diameter of this bottom one versus this one. I think that's how you fit them, that diameter there. So you can see the rubber bushings, how you could see that would wheel hop, where this would help. It's all steel on steel. So I'm going to throw this one in, throw the wheels back on, and then we're going to see if the trans shifts good. There we go, both sides installed. Hopefully no wheel hop. I don't think I've ever had wheel hop anyway, but I know I complained about these headers putting them on, but man, do they fit good, they look good, and they sound good. So now that the work's over, I can enjoy them. And like I told you guys earlier, if you guys do this at home, just pull the K member. That's where I kind of messed up. And I didn't take this off right away. Kind of broke it there, you can see. Oh well. But anyways, let's get those wheels on and go have some fun finally. This thing's been on the hoist for a few days, so let's go have some fun. All right guys, we're gonna just do a light acceleration so you can hear the exhaust. Pretty loud. Like I said, I'm in sport mode right now, so is the exhaust. Track mode's even louder, but you can also go to quiet if it's too much. It's fairly quiet for having headers. We'll get on a little. Like, it's still loud, but not very loud, to be honest. Probably what factory sport is. So it's perfect for me. I want it obnoxious, and it is obnoxious. So that's a little exhaust clip, and now I'll show you guys just how it spins. I'm not really used to the car a lot, so that pole kind of scared me a little bit. It's been a long winter. We don't have a lot of, I don't get to drive this stuff for six to 8 months, so then you get in it and it kind of scares you. So I'll show you guys a little clip, and then once we get tires on this thing and the roads get warmer, we'll do some better point of views.